We're both recording, which is all we could ask for. um, Girl, we don't have him here to say it's Iho duh. What are we gonna do?
God, he's just gonna have to pop in and say, yeah,
Hopefully he gets here. We can't do it. Okay.
yeah, I'm gonna, but that's complicated because he's a co-founder. But we should be able to meet without him and it still be Iho. So therefore, it's Iho duh.
Duh. Exactly. Period. So let's get into it because this one is a lot. There's kind of a few background pieces. So if you are a law student and you don't have family to help you pay your bills, it's almost impossible to survive. That is my experience. In the summer, I don't have anything. Last summer, tell Cecilia, pay for July rent, if you will, and I will pay you back in August. Same thing this July. And obviously, I have been working like 3 days a week as a baby lawyer and the rest as a nanny. So it's not for lack of effort that I'm in this situation. Anyway, a couple weeks ago at least, I sent her a voice message explaining that Levon was here, which she already knew, that he eventually found a job, like explaining the whole process. Mind you, we had been talking since May, Cecilia and I, about the possibility of Leviticus moving from Miami and living here in this apartment. So I sent her the voice message as a follow-up, just like it worked out. We just wanted to see if we could make this work in Nashville, and it's working. So that was the update a couple weeks ago. Last night, she finally replies to my voice message, and yeah.
She had never responded?
She never heard it. Like, I even reminded her the next day. I said, hey, will you listen to that? And she said, okay. And then, like, I assumed the first time she listened to it was yesterday.
When you all had discussed this possibility of Leviticus living with y'all, what was the conversation like from her?
Well, specifically, we were talking about how nice it would be if we could split the rent 3 ways. I mean, that's a pretty, even that detail right there shows you the kind of conversation it was. And her literal reply when I first was like figuring up how much it is divided by 3, she was like, oh my God, if he could find a job here. That's the very last thing that was spoke on the subject. And like, she knew he had been here this summer. Obviously, she has not been here in months now. And the situation has evolved like in a lot of ways since then. Her very first reply already had me fucked up. At least he got a job and hopefully he likes it. I do have some opinions, haha, since I didn't know he would be moving in with us. I can call you though. And she was responding to, I said, based on your experience of having your boyfriend live here who was not on the lease, I have gathered that they don't care in the office. And she's like, yeah, I think that thing was because he was my boyfriend at the time. But Leviticus is technically a stranger to me, is what she said. How? How is that? You met him when I did, the very same day. You've vacationed with him multiple times.
Well, okay, so wait. She lived at the apartment by herself before?
She was in a 1-bedroom and she was paying like $700 more versus now. Like, she's saving money, like having a roommate.
Okay. And her boyfriend was just not on the lease and like living there.
Yeah. So I said, if it's a problem in general or with the landlord, we can find our own place. I mean, the way you're approaching me about it is like, that's what I thought was the natural thing for me to say, given like it's a switch up. Like, why are you acting surprised is what I don't get. And now my trust issues are activated because you're switching up the story completely. Like, you didn't know, like we didn't explicitly talk about it when we did. He's not a stranger. That's why I put it in quotes. I'm coming from the point that it's different from a permanent living situation, but okay, I'll call you soon. We talk. She explained how she felt, like caught off guard. And she was like, it could be okay if we laid some ground rules. And I never like got to learn like what ground rules would look like. Like, what do you think you need a ground rule for? You think he's gonna like be like peeking in on you or like what are you thinking? To me, it came across as like, well, a lot of things, but fearful is one of those things.
It's Idaho, duh. How amazing.
Wow.
So good to have you here because shit is
Dude,
hitting
I
the
mean, it's
fan.
just crazy. What happened, Ashton?
Okay.
I knew it had to
So
be about this. I knew it had to be about this.
what else, you know?
Yeah.
Kulun, here is some of the background stuff that you need to know going into this conversation. Number one, Cecilia and I met my boyfriend Leviticus on the very same day. We had vacation together. Like he's been here with both of us in May, right before she left the state for the entire summer. We explicitly were like talking about how nice it would be if he found a job here and we could split the rent 3 ways. Okay, that's been established. And the other component of this is that in July, I ran out of money. I did it this year, I did it last year. It's just the way that it's going with my loan situation. Like, so last year and this year, I asked her, will you pay the rent in July and I will pay you back in August, the next month, right? So there's those two things. I, Cecilia, a voice message, an update on everything with Leviticus's situation. She didn't know much, but she knew he had been here for like over a month at this point. And she didn't respond to it until today. And what I told her was just, hey, he ended up finding a job, like, yay, celebrate, I don't know, an update. And she responds yesterday. And right off the bat, she acts like she doesn't know what I'm talking about because she said, I do have some opinions, haha, since I didn't know he would be moving in with us.
But you said that she did know this.
I can like tell you details of this conversation, and I'm pretty sure we had 2 different conversations, 2 different days about this very thing because it's just fucking obvious, no? Like, you know, he's been here. Last thing you heard, he's gonna try to find a job here. Now he's found a job here, and all of a sudden you don't know what I'm talking about.
I'm saying you said you talked to her specifically that it would be good if you could split the rent 3 ways.
We were both on the same page. If we're talking about splitting rent 3 ways and celebrating, we're going to save money, da da da. Why are you acting like you don't know what I'm talking about?
Hey, don't. You're
Anyways,
projecting right now.
I am
Just be honest.
tense and I'm angry, and I've been angry for like
Are you
24 hours
sipping your
now.
wine?
I am.
Let's see it.
Better be in a cup.
It's in
Thank
a
God.
mug. Classic Azhtune.
Azhtune drinking wine out of a coffee cup.
I drink everything out of a coffee cup. Anyway, I brought up the detail about what about how we were talking about splitting the rent? Like, what about that? So whenever we FaceTimed later, she told me that conversation, she remembers the conversation. She'll say that, but she says she didn't think anything of it. Like,
Oh, she thought it was a joke.
why would I joke about something
She
like
thought you
that?
guys were just joking. Like,
I'm like,
oh,
in what way, from my perspective, is what I'm telling you funny? I'm being dead ass serious.
are you talking
I
to
don't
me?
know.
Are you acting like if I was her?
Just
I was acting
responding
like
to,
her.
I'm just, right. No, I know.
Oh, okay. I was like, I'm not laughing at you.
Also on the phone, she talked about the stranger comment because I was like, how, by any definition, could he be construed as a stranger to you? And she's
Oh,
like, oh, not, what?
he's brand new.
No, he's not. Like I said, she met him and I met him the same day on vacation. We saw him every day. He came here with both of us. How is that a stranger? So she says what she meant is that she's never lived with the person. You've never lived with the person until you've lived with the person. Does that make somebody a stranger? You've never lived with them? Like,
You were a
every
stranger, right?
at a point, yeah, like you never lived with me till you lived with me. That's true for literally anyone on earth.
It's starting to get to the point where the guy is getting in between you guys.
She's not even here. Like, what is there getting in between of?
We need to know how the conversation ends. What happened?
Okay.
I have a lot to say, but I need to know what happened.
Okay, well, there's 2 kind of endings because the FaceTime ended and then the text conversation today ended. On the phone, something that she told me was whenever I told her, if it's a problem, we can find our own place. That's if it's a problem, mind you, but never mind that.
Said that?
Oh yeah, that was one of the
Oh
details.
yeah, you're
Right.
hot. You're coming off 100 degrees.
You're right, I am. Because you're switching up on me, you're activating my trust issues. I'm feeling uncomfortable. So yes, I'm hot. Okay. She tells me when I said that via text, she was like, I just really felt like you were using me. Like, what? You're asking me for money? This is verbatim. You're asking me for money. But moving on.
You just said that you asked her last year for the same month.
Yes. Is it asking for money if I'm going to
A
pay you
loan.
back the following month?
I mean, it's a
I'm
loan.
not, it's just not what it is. She's trying to construe it as if it's something else. She's trying to say anything that she can, I think, to try to make this point that she thinks she has, which in my mind, she has none, actually. I was pretty clear, like every feeling that I had, whatever. So she thinks I'm using her, I'm asking her for money, and I would be so quick to just be willing to get my own place. Yes, I would be willing to get my own place if you're coming at me in this uncomfortable way. Okay, so how the conversation ended is I was hot, as you see, like that will manifest in either me yelling at you or me crying at you. So thank God I chose the crying route. Like I was sobbing on the phone actually because A, I had already had all that wine from our chat. B, you just got me so fucked up. Like, and so I was really trying to go into detail explaining like how I feel. She said how she feels. We're like, I'm glad we had this conversation. She's like, if you need to say more, like, I'm here. She started trying to kind of just change the subject toward the end. And I changed the subject too, because what else can I do? But still, like, what was said to me yesterday remains a problem. I don't feel like she really was seeing my point at all. Like, even though she said, like, okay, I see, and it was just like, I understand you, I understand you. Okay, good night. So I text her today because I have to. Like, I cannot go another second without addressing this because it's just a problem. So I text her. We explicitly talked about this. You knew he'd been here. You never inquired about anything here, right? Because it's fucking obvious. And I feel uncomfortable, is the point I left on. Her response was very short. It was like, I appreciate you telling me your feelings, and I'm kind of off-putted by your reaction right now. I'll marinate more on what you sent me and talk soon. I said, of course you are off put. The whole thing is off. But that's my truth I've come to after the initial emotion subsided. I don't think I've said anything factually incorrect. I mean, I brought up the thing about the money thing, of course. Like, how could I even possibly be construed as using you when you benefit from me being your roommate and you would benefit further from him being your roommate? There's never been a situation where you paid the month's rent and I haven't paid you back. So what? Like, it's just not sitting right with me. None of it. I don't think she trusts me if she's gonna jump to I'm using you. For what? What?
So that you're more mad about her saying that you're using her by asking her
I'm
for a
mad
month.
about everything. I mean, that comment in particular was just what he says, love and peace.
See,
That
that's
comment
what
in
I'm
particular,
talking about. Shouts out to him. Leviticus
it's
sounds like a voice of
everything.
risen.
Kaloon, it's everything. Every
Because
little
like
thing. I mean, are you victim in your head? Like, what do you think I've done to you? I made you a balloon arch for your birthday. You're gonna really say that to me?
Balloon.
No.
Have you ever built a balloon arch? It's really hard.
No, and you couldn't. It's really hard.
You couldn't
So,
do it.
I
and you
can
know what? I
do
stayed up until 3 a.m.
anything you can
obsessing.
do, I can do better.
That's a
No,
joke.
you can't build a balloon arch. I
It's
mean, I said
wrong.
a balloon arch. A
I
balloon
can build
arch.
a balloon arch. It'll be the best balloon arch anyone's ever seen.
You know what? We're gonna have a balloon arch competition.
I've built balloon arches.
So you're
I've
gonna
seen
sit
it,
here and say it's
seen it
not a big
done.
deal.
It was the
Okay.
biggest balloon arch
Let's
you
stop
could
talking
ever.
about it.
I know who you are.
Impersonation time.
Yes. Okay. The comment, what did she say? You used her?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That really is hurtful. That is so outlandish. I feel like she said it as like a last ditch effort to like clean up a mess. but she just made it worse, that I have nothing to say about. Cecilia is completely in the wrong to say something like that because it's verifiably not true. You are not that kind of person. You did not use anyone. You had a very specific situation that was taken care of in a very short amount of time. Just like last year, you did nothing wrong. That's just impossible to understand. Now, having been a roommate, I do understand where she's coming from because she did meet Leviticus when you met Leviticus, but she doesn't know him.
At
And in
all.
that way, he is a stranger to her. And I can understand why she wouldn't want him to live with y'all. It has nothing to do with him. But for example, my previous roommate, she had a guy over constantly, didn't know him, super nice guy, didn't do anything wrong, but he was essentially living here. And I knew it was going to become an issue, but I knew that she was going to be moving out soon. And I didn't want someone's boyfriend living with us. And then when I was dating Mishak and I had talked about him coming here for lengths of time and like he would essentially be living with me. And I knew that wasn't going to fly with my roommate either. Even if she was nice about it, even if she accommodated it, I knew it would become an issue because it just is. When you introduce someone into your living space, it can become uncomfortable even if you kind of know the person. I think Cecilia didn't really think that this was going to happen, and she was like brushing it off and like talking about it in theory, splitting the rent 3 ways. First of all, if her family pays for rent, why does she really care that it's going to be? I understand why she wouldn't want to live in that situation, why she's just now like really thinking about it because she's about to come back. So this is real for her now. And she hasn't checked in with you because why would she? She's in California. Like she's not thinking about it. Now she is because she's about to come back and she's vocalizing her issue. If I were her and what she needs to do is because she did say it was okay, she did talk about it, she did entertain it, she has to stand on that. Like, that's the only choice. And if she doesn't want to, then what you said is the only solution is go your separate ways, and that's okay. And that would be best for everyone. Like, I get where she's coming from, but she made a mistake talking too much, said things she didn't really mean, and now it's just messing everything up. And she has to stand on business or y'all have to go your separate way.
Also, when we were concluding the combo yesterday, she was like, I mean, I'm not gonna, kick him out. We have 8 months on a lease left. I don't know.
It really does not matter.
It
Like
does matter. If she's never
anytime that I've
home,
seen, anytime that I've experienced, or it sounds like Allie D or anyone has experienced a significant other being brought in by someone else, it is always going to be a problem, regardless. It's
Yeah.
always going to be a problem. There's
well,
not just oh, like he's just coming, because it is, like she said, a stranger when it comes to, that's like if I was like, hey, I want to, like, I'm moving to Nashville and I need somewhere to stay. You know me. She, in theory, knows me, but for me to live there, I would still be a stranger.
I'm surprised because we already had this conversation. I'm
That's the
surprised
weirdest. That's the
because
weirdest thing to me, is like if you've
Yeah.
already talked
That,
about it,
that's the
then
thing is
that's where
she,
it's like, if she made it seem like she didn't remember, or she does remember, it's like, oh, I thought we were joking. It's like, that's
no,
your
like
fault.
you can't
Yeah,
say
like you
that
can say
and
that
you
you just
can't
thought
switch
it
up
was,
on someone
because who the hell's
because,
gonna do that?
yeah,
Who's just joking? Like, oh,
yeah.
oh,
She
that's
needs to
a,
stick to her words because
because like
she is your,
my situation was more on the girl came in, and so we pressed the roommate on, if she's going to live here, she needs to split the rent. And his whole argument was she doesn't live here enough to split the rent. So it's like an opposite thing.
right.
I'm just saying, like, when it comes to a significant other coming in through a whole situation with other genders, like it'd be
So if
different.
money,
I had Cleo in the house too, but like when you have like just one, like all males and then one female comes in, or all females and one male comes in, I feel like shit just gets weird.
it gets weird, I guess, if you make it weird. Maybe
You've never been in this situation yet.
well, I don't know. In our college house, I lived with a lot of different kind of people at once.
Yeah, but
Um,
I don't feel like that's the same because that was such a lack of control, like uncontrolled environment, and everyone had boyfriends who were like coming in and out. Like this is just
yeah, it
just
was undergrad.
you and Cecilia. Like that changes. Like a big house with where no one talks to each other anyway, and it's like a revolving door. It's just different. This is a closed environment, and it's just you and one other person, and it really disrupts things when anyone is introduced to it.
If you
Yeah,
love the
and
boyfriend,
yet I don't
you guys should
respect.
just fucking fly away. That's my vote.
I'm
And leave
not gonna
her.
like totally blow up the situation unless it really needs to come down to that. I don't respect anything about how that conversation went.
That's what I'm
So
saying. If you
it's
feel that
hard for
way,
me.
then you should take it into
I
your
don't
own.
hate her. I took it into my own hands when I addressed the conversation further with her because it had to be done first. You don't just jump to the last resort immediately. Like
Sounds
there's conversations to be had.
like that didn't
But
do
I
anything.
wanted to make it clear if you have a problem, I don't have a problem resolving
If
your
you don't
problem.
have a problem, it's your boyfriend.
Okay, what
She
I'm
said the
saying
fall.
is, I don't have a problem with resolving that. So I had to lay it all out there. If this is like you don't agree, which is kind of what you're
Does not
saying,
agree. That's what I'm saying. Is like she's not agreeing. She's not the.
well, as I said, she ended the conversation by saying it can work and that she gets it now and that she understands and da da da. And yet, even though she said that,
You said
I
that?
was still, she feels better about everything now that we've talked. And right.
Hold
I mean,
on.
how can you just,
Was that the end of the text messages today?
no, that was just part of what was said yesterday at the near the end of the conversation.
You're mixing me up here because you said the end of the FaceTime call.
Near the end of the FaceTime call, as we are listening, hearing each other out. That's one of the things that was said. In the very, very end, she tried to change the subject completely. But yes, she did say she was basically fine with it. Like, I don't know verbatim what she said, but that's what she said.
But then
And
today you texted her and it wasn't the same thing.
right, because it's not okay, actually. It's not. The things that she said to me, we have some stuff to talk through so that we know what route to take.
Yeah.
I
I
don't.
see where this is going.
I'm confused why she would randomly say she's okay with it, like unless she's just trying to appease the situation.
I
Yeah, she's
think it was
trying to get
because
out
I
of the
was,
conversation.
she was, because she didn't expect the reaction that I had, which is sobbing, literal sobbing, like, because all my frustration is coming out about my financial situation, how much I'm working, and it's still like not together right now. Like, I'm in a delicate balance. Okay, the 10-year anniversary of my boyfriend's death was a few days ago. Like, I'm in a delicate balance. And you doing some dumb shit is really just going to cause a reaction from me. And
But I
that's what
feel like
happened.
I'm saying that anything she would have said that wasn't okay, I'm cool with it, would have gotten that reaction. No matter how she said it, you would have felt that way.
Obviously, when I was talking to her, I was having an emotional reaction. As I reflect on what was said to me and how problematic it is, I had more to say. It wasn't done there. Like, so we'll see.
But
I
your
don't know.
emotional, that's what I'm saying, is your emotional reaction definitely had an effect on her as well.
Right. I mean, she said she was put off, and I'm like, yeah, everybody's put off. It's an off-putting situation. I guess I wasn't thinking about the other aspect of it being awkward. And the reason for that is when we are here, school is in session. I go to sleep and she's still not home, kind of thing, regularly. So, how many run ins are we even going to have? We each have our own bathrooms contained in our own separate rooms. Like, I'm not understanding. And, like, I don't know. Also, Ollie, your situation was just totally weird because you never really even spoke to the guy. If you've been on two vacations with a person, I'm sorry, you cannot call them a stranger. You cannot act like
You
you.
can't.
Honestly, I don't care. I don't want anyone's man living in my home. I don't. Like, even when I really, I was in a long distance relationship with Mishak. In order to make it work, he was going to have to come stay here for long periods of time, but I knew that wouldn't be fair to her and it was going to be an issue and I didn't know how it was going to work. and then we broke up anyway, so it's fine. But like, even if someone says they're cool with it, or even if they know them, it just doesn't work. It always blows.
If Leviticus is him, that's it. That's what it is. Because it's
I
gonna be
mean,
awkward. There is no like anything that you like any conversations that are happening after this, even if she's like, yeah, okay, yeah, I see it, blah blah blah. First off, she is not as fiery of a person as you. So I could easily seeing her taking the passive route when she's completely not cool with it. That's
It
just
seems
like
like that's what she's trying
she's
to
not a
do.
confrontational person at all. That's like me. Like I was in my situation, it was going downhill. We had conversations, family meetings, all these things, but like I don't like
because bills weren't getting, well,
so
right. If you want me to never ask you again to pay this month's rent and I'll pay you back, guess what, buddy? Leviticus is the solution. Like, I cannot survive on my own. Like, I can't do it. After school ends, I'm not going to have a job. I'm going to be studying for the bar. It's like all these things that have to come together for me and be together by May. Okay, I'm not going to force any situation that's just not working. Me and Leviticus are working. I just felt like I'm coming from a place of survival, and that's all I know. Like, really.
but that's what I'm saying is like we can't get mad at her
I can get mad
or
at her because of the off the wall, untrue things that she said, the way that she was trying to construe the situation. And I can get mad at her for trying to act like we didn't have this conversation. Okay, if you want to say you didn't mean what you said, I would even respect that more. But to say you don't take it serious, you're just building on this thing with me that's like more and more ridiculous. And like Ollie said, I think it was a last ditch effort to just say whatever you could. I don't know. I
but
don't respect
that's what
any
I'm
of it.
saying is like that like all those things that happened I'm thinking of like future conversations. If she's not into it, there's no like oh, this is
Sure.
going good for me and because financials are such a burden, it's going to help both of us if he comes in. That's still completely like pushing aside the other half of like what
Which I've never heard, and I've never, I mean, she thinks she was blindsided. I was fucking blindsided. Whenever you are saying the opposite of what you said the last time we spoke about the topic.
Yeah.
So I'm not like ignorant really of roommate kind of dynamics because I always imagined it being a problem with her. And I worked up to having the conversation with her and seeing what her response would be. And then I remember specifically calling Leviticus and being like, oh my God, like she actually said she's down, like, yay. And here it is,
up.
August.
She switched up. That's a
Okay,
fact.
well,
She can't do that though. Like,
I mean, she technically can do whatever she wants.
she
I'm just
can,
saying
but
fucked up.
but then
That's why if
Ashtune's,
you wouldn't even want to live with a person that shows their true colors like that is what
well,
I'm
that's what I'm thinking, because what she's gonna do now is take the pacifist route. She's gonna resent it, and it might not matter that she resents it, but what she did is say something really hurtful and something very untrue. And that is not okay. And how do you move past that?
you
right,
don't.
because it's like you're getting me and like one of my weakest spots right now. Like my financial situation has been so hard throughout all of law school. You knew that before you moved in with me, and you're gonna bring that up, throw it in my face, like
Yeah.
you're just giving me money. That is not true. And
While you're just kicking it in Cali.
Yeah.
While you're just kicking it
and I'm
feet back
busting my
chilling.
ass, and you don't know shit that goes on here actually.
My honest to God vote is like I said, if you think that Leviticus is him, it's time to start looking for a new nest because it's only going to go up in flames. That's a
I
fact.
will I will carry what you're saying into our conversations. You know, if you are just agreeing with me because I was upset and you don't really feel that way and you're gonna resent me, we can probably foresee, that. So
That's what I
like,
mean. Exactly. Like if you can, that's good. Like if you said that straight to her face, like if you're just saying this just to people please, I don't have
Yeah,
any time for that.
because that seems like what she did before. And now she revealed, like, oh, I wasn't really being serious. Well, now the topic is serious, and this is your chance to really speak how you feel and move forward from here because we have 8 months on this lease regardless. What are we going to do? Like, now or never.
Like, are you going to make it cheaper for yourself, even though money doesn't matter to you, apparently?
It does
Or,
matter to her. It does, because on this phone call, she wanted to act like her family was going broke. I mean, maybe they're going through a rough patch. I don't know. Part of me felt like it might have been a sympathy thing.
It's like I was surprised. Like, if someone's family is paying their bill, why would they care? But in that
oh,
context,
she's not paying them?
Her salary is her mom putting money in her account. She
Bruh.
takes out some loan to have extra spending money. I'm over here barely scraping by, okay?
Hey, amen. You see me. That's what I do. I'm right there with you. I'm in fucking data science class as we speak to try and get a nice little 85K job right out of school, and then I'll be good. But other than that, yeah, boy, the boy's down bad. That's why our radio needs to fucking get out of here.
needs to freaking launch, pull us out of this mess.
Yes,
So
dude. Like,
this
where are our fucking subscribers? Please,
look,
please.
our
Whatever,
last
we're not
episode
gonna beg.
gold. This
Yeah,
one's
you're right.
gold. So when does Cecilia come?
School starts on August 26th, which is quite a ways away still.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, so she's not even,
I,
bro, has Leviticus started his employment?
yes,
Oh,
this is his
dude, just
first
send her
week.
just send her a check. Might as well just cut it in a third off the rip. Don't even
No, because
what? Bro, she's not gonna be back for a month, bro, her whole fucking tune will change if she's coming back and you're literally like, oh hey,
If
you
she's
only
not in
owe
it for the money savings like how I am, then she's not even going to appreciate a check. And I'm not throwing a check at somebody just to try to pacify
not
them when they're
not
really not
throwing a
cool.
check. I'm saying like however
yeah,
you pay.
Kaloon, everything I have in my bank account just went to my rent. Still wasn't enough. Thankfully, it's not the fifth yet. Leviticus just started his job this week, as I said. You think he's got his first check? He's getting it on Friday, which is training hours. Like, it's baby steps. I mean, I literally have nothing. And so for her to like do this, it's just really not cool.
You're spitting facts. I will
I
give you
don't
that.
want to lose this friendship. I don't want to walk around law school and feel like I don't have any friends anymore. Like, she and our other best law school friend have like gotten each other through. I don't want to ruin
yeah.
through our other law school bestie. Can we just get through this 8 months without you being weird? I mean, it's only 8 months.
When we start to dial over to like, it's just 8 months, like that gives me PTSD from the situation that I was in house. If a person feels awkward in their own home, 8 months could feel like 3 years.
Sure.
That's all I'm
I totally see that. On my perspective, it's only 8 months. And if you're going to be gone a few of those months, like, it gets petty in my mind, but yet this is just my perspective, and that's all. That's all I know. It's a problem.
Well, the ball is partially in Cecilia's court because she has to be forthright about how she feels. But if she is like, I'm okay with this, I was wrong, blah, 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 can you be okay with her after the things that she's thrown in your face and like twisted?
Or can you feel like if she does say, I do not feel comfortable with this, and is upright about her feeling awkward, are you going to still be like, you can't feel awkward? Like, this is,
I
you know
never
me.
said that. I never said that.
No,
Look,
I'm
if
talking
she
about,
feels
I'm saying
awkward,
like a stranger, like her stranger comment. I
I'm
can only
not
live with a
taking that
stranger.
comment. I hear what y'all are saying. I'm not taking that comment. I think it's offensive. I feel like she doesn't trust brown people because she has told me that her parents don't trust brown people. Like, to me, it's going into different layers of stuff. And I don't know, like, that's another reason why I've been so defensive. I don't know. I'm never going to forget this. I'm always going to know at the end of the day what kind of a person she is. She would be willing to say something like that to me. Um, would I be willing to keep surviving in this same environment with her? I mean, I just see who she is now. And like, I know I see an end in sight. We all do. Do we want to spend the last 8 months of our law school career like with this problem?
That's
I
what I'm
don't.
saying. It's not gonna work.
I'm just pissed. Like, I'm just pissed. Can I move past it? It depends. Like Ollie said, the ball is in her court. I will respond accordingly. That's what I was trying to communicate when I said we can go. I will respond accordingly.
Yeah. You responded in the only way that you could, being switched up on. It's unfortunate it had to happen this way, and this will be a huge lesson for Cecilia, who is younger and I feel like has not had a lot of life experience. And now she will hopefully learn, like, you need to be honest with how you feel from the jump. You're playing with people's lives.
In a major way. We have a refugee over here. Like, this is not a game.
Bro, but that's my whole point. You are in the situation of bringing the third party. So it's not
I don't care because I understood that it
it's
was a
not
big
the
deal and
same. Like it would be different. Like you would be if you put your feet in her shoes, if she brought a man over and you had a problem with it, she would obviously be thinking, 8 months, that's not a lot of time. But it's her
and
guy, it's
yet,
her
if I
man.
were in her shoes, if me, Azhtune, were in her shoes, I would not be bullshitting about my living situation. Period.
The issue here, Kaloon, it's not about the awkwardness or any of that about how Cecilia feels. It's about that she basically lied. And now it's a problem. Cecilia created the problem by not being honest. And now
Correct. It's either be okay with it or Ashtun and Leviticus are out. That's it. That's all we got here. I'm just saying that knowing the type of pacifist that she comes off as, she's just a people pleaser. I would already be proactively looking to leave.
If I were to leave, I would probably remain in this building. I need to put my energy into surviving and figuring out if a proper conversation can be had. If not, we'll just have to talk to the landlord and see where to go from here. Like, what are our options? I think if we went to a unit in this building, that would probably be the simplest way to handle it. I don't want to fucking move all my furniture, but I'm not paying $2,400 a month for an apartment. But I am happy. I'm happy for my man. He's happy at his job. Like, things could not be.
tell him congratulations.
I will.
Congratulito!
No, that's not it.
Felicidades is how
Yeah.
you would say it.
Felicidad.
Felicidades, trabajo.
That's Merry Christmas.
That's Feliz Navidad.
That's what you just said.
I
No.
said Felicidades.
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 Did he say gracias?
He's not listening to me at all. He has headphones on.
Aw.
Yeah.
Dude, all right. And first off, I just want to say, how long have you been with Leviticus?
Going on 5 or 6 months. I can't recall.
Fair enough.
We were in a spot where we needed to be in the same place to know whether the relationship needed to continue on because we were pretty sure about each other and yet we just didn't know and we couldn't know. Like, we can't be constantly traveling between Miami and Nashville. So it's like this is what it had to be for me.
We should start looking into a new reality show. Two roommates. One brings in a relationship to test the relationship to see. We'll call it friendship. Damn, dude, that's fire. Will the friendship survive or will the relationship survive? And
You know
then
what?
if the friendship breaks, you go and check on the couple 6 months later to see if they even survived, because then it might be a fucking lose-lose, which would be tragic. But that's great television.
Look, this is why I don't have girlfriends except for my one girlfriend, Ollie P. This is why I don't like meeting new people. I don't even care to. I'm not even interested. Leviticus looking at me like, I'm pussy too.
Yeah, because he can't speak English.
Right.
So he's really just like, dude, she's fired up. He needs
Does
to
he
take,
know that
he
he's
needs to take
Leviticus?
that line from you.
He does.
Okay,
I
does he know
don't know.
with Cecilia?
He knows I got angry. This is how I explained it to him. I said something harsh. She got offended by it. Then we
At
had to
least
have a
you
longer.
know that you said you came off crazy hot.
And yet,
Really feel that way. What did you say that was harsh?
thank you.
Ollie P. Ashtune, the way she's been explaining this takes me back to high school.
Please stop.
Ashtune.
Please Okay, Kulin, let me say something that I've been trying to get you to understand for a long time, which is that you say I'm changed, I'm a different person. No, I'm not. I am the same person. I just stopped arguing with you because it's not worth it to argue with you. You are my friend and I love you. And so when you say something I disagree with, I just don't really even respond because I don't want to argue with you. However, I'm who I am. I'm always going to be who I am. If you come at me crazy,
Definitely.
I'm coming at you crazy because I think she's gaslighting me too by trying to act like I'm crazy for my reaction when in reality she came at me totally sideways. Period.
All I'm saying is you definitely dialed back.
I learned when to use my energy and when not to.
When to pounce like a cat, like the cat lady you are.
It's in my blood. I have the parasite.
That sounds crazy. So yeah, I'm shooting my first lead role in a film this weekend.
Wait, is this the role that you posted about a while ago? Like it's been a long time since you got casted?
Correct.
So it's still happening.
Yeah.
Good,
That
good.
shit takes for the craziest thing is my first role in the biopic of Andre Rison that I was the announcer in. That took like 2 years to come out. It's like crazy how long of a process it actually is. Like we did table reads on table reads before, and then I was supposed to go shoot on the 4th of July, but the director's cousin died that day. So they had to push it back to now. So I'll drive to Henderson tomorrow, stay there, and then drive to Atlanta, shoot Saturday, Sunday.
Well,
And
if you want to stop through Nashville, I'll be here.
see, there it
You can
is.
stay in Cecilia's room.
Dude, I will
Icing on the
take a
fucking cake.
shit on Cecilia's bed.
Okay, we're gonna edit this because Iho has to go to the moon, and that is not gonna get us there.
Dude,
No.
just beep it out.
I will. I'm not going to beep it out. I'm going to totally remove everything you just
No,
said.
no, literally, like when I say I'm gonna shit on her bed, after that, when I say cuz beep, beep, just beep it out.
No,
'Cause
because
no one's
people are gonna know. People aren't stupid. They're gonna know.
Dude, that is a reach. No one is gonna know.
Balloon, it's not worth the risk. It really
Okay,
isn't.
so
We have the
then
future president on this phone call.
what we'll do is cut that out, but keep this in part where you'll be like, you're saying like they'll know, and I'm like, they won't know because it's not even there. So then it'll be even better. I'm cool with that. No, literally, we'll be like, they don't know. And I'll be like, what? And everyone will be like, what are they even talking about?
Okay, I like that idea. A little mystery.
So, Allie,
Two questions.
What?
Did you drink with dinner tonight? Because
I drank a bloody.
okay. And also, what did you eat for dinner? Both.
Ladies,
Taquitos.
Bean and
I was
cheese
like,
or what?
Takis? The chips?
No, bean and cheese taquitos from Trader Joe's.
Did you dip it in sour cream or anything?
No, I didn't. I should have. It was so dry. Yeah.
I had a side salad and a fried chicken sandwich from a little pub golf course in Hartford, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. And it was really good. And the price was like, it was a huge portion. And the price was just like Henderson. Like, it really shocked me.
That does sound fire.
Yeah. But I'm addicted to Bloody Marys as well. In Wisconsin,
yeah, we know.
Milwaukee. Yeah. Milwaukee's Bloody Mary scene is out of this world.
Okay, so I ate a grilled cheese because it's what I made the little boy I nanny for dinner.
Mm.
It was good. I mean, it was Gaillard, however you pronounce it.
All right. Well, that's 2 episodes in 2 days. So good luck editing all that shit.
Thanks.
We're doing
good, guys.
Love
Love
you.
you. Mwah, mwah, mwah,
Good night.
Hello.
Good night.